And welcome to day 6 of Fundamentals of Computing. One thing I want to do here is remind you of the schedule. And I'll bring that page up here. Remember, every time you come into the eLearn, check your assignment schedule, and here is the plan. This shared Google Doc in the cloud, shared as a web page. It's a spreadsheet shared as a web page. And you see today the plan is to get started in the Microsoft Word section. And your that little assignment where we created all those folders, zipped them up and uploaded them. In case you hadn't done it by now, be sure to get it done today. And the e-quiz on WD1, we should be close to finishing that WD1 project today. So, because it's a fairly easy project, but it's not due until next Monday. But the e-quiz for WD1. Get going on that, and I'm going to even help you with that. Watch how I'm going to help you. I'm going to come to that e-quiz right down here. There it is, e-quiz WD1. And I like to right-click open links in new tabs. I like thousands of tabs in my browser, so I can always remember where I was. Otherwise, I forget where I was, and you go back and keep going back. I had started it. So I'm going to continue last attempt, and I'm going to look at that first matching section just to start thinking about the things we need to know in Word. And you can do this. You could actually take this quiz, print it out, and then as you read through the book or work on the assignment, you could be filling out the answers. You could even be working on it with a friend. And I, as your friend, I'm going to help you with this one. The type of formatting used to emphasize certain letters or words to improve readability of a document. Now, they're pretty nice to you with multiple choice. They don't give you answers in the multiple choice that aren't one of the selections. When I would do multiple choice, I would throw in things that aren't on any of them, kind of be mean. But anyone think you might know what would be the type of formatting used to emphasize certain letters or words? It's not an obvious one as I was looking at. The other ones I felt were a little more obvious. This is a little tougher one.
Style.
Style is a good choice, but not the correct answer. It's character formatting. It's a kind of a little fuzzy question. The others I think are a little easier. A named group of formatting characteristics. A group that has a name, like I'm going to format it with this particular blank of formatting. Well, the close ones are style, color scheme, theme, calibri, a type of a named group. The answer they're looking for is a style. There's different styles we can name things, and we'll be seeing that in the project. The default font in Word, well, I better check because we're running Word 2016 and it may be different. I'm going to start up Word 2016 by going to my Start menu up here. Where's my Start menu? I'm going to find my Start. There it is. I'm going to go to Start, Word, and why isn't it coming up? There it finally is. I'm going to start Word 2016. On my computer, I have either version. I think on yours, you only have 2016 available. I'm going to just start Word to make sure that I know the default font, because the book may say one thing, but we are running Office 2016, and I wouldn't be surprised if they change the default font. Let's take a look here. Blank document. Oh, it looks like it's still Calibri. It's remembering the last default font. So the answer would be Calibri. And this is the one part of the, if you print it out, that they don't show you this on the printout, where with these multiple choice, you can see what choices they have to guess what multiple choice there is. First line of text on a flyer. We're going to be doing this flyer today. The WD1 is a flyer, and the headline is your first line of text. Points as unit of measurements. Well, I only see one thing referring to measurement. So that's not too hard of a one. So font size measured in points. Default style in Word. Remember how we default font? The default style let's take a look here. It's highlighted up there in the styles box as normal. That's the default style. So normal would be your default style. The appearance and shape of the letters, numbers, special characters. Well, that seems like font. What could it be? I'm thinking fonts. What did you think it might be? Since we've already used style, we'll see if we get it right. 12 complementary colors. Well, color scheme. And we'll show you how to mess with your color scheme. Set of unified formats for fonts, colors, and graphics. Everything together. I think that would be your theme. And 1/72 of an inch is a point. I think we haven't used any of them twice. I think now I'm pretty sure that's the answer, but we'd have to check and see it. I don't know, does it check your answers if you submit it without doing the rest? Let's see what happens. Since I know I can take it again, I'm going to do a submit all. You don't have to do a submit all. You can just save it as it is. And yes, we got those right. So I'll give you a little help with that first matching one. Sometimes the matching is difficult, especially with that kind of obscure question, type of formatting used to emphasize certain letters. I can always go back to ones that are wrong and correct. Can I correct them? Oh, I guess I can't correct them on the preview, but I can just take it again after finishing the review. Okay, so just a reminder there, I generally don't want you to be taking these quizzes during class because we got lots of projects to do. But sometimes if we run out of things to do or we're ahead of ourselves, I might say, okay, you can take it easy today and maybe work on that. But refrain from taking the quiz during class because we got plenty of work to do. All right, so let's take a look first at some of the new things available in Office 2016, and then we'll get going on that WD1 project. I did a little search out there, and let's see what I found. Gotta find it. Here we go. Here's pages describing some of the new things in Office 2016. Can't enlarge that too much. Let's take a look just at a few. They say Outlook's got some major improvements. Do you know what Outlook is? Anyone know what Outlook is? Outlook is their email client that I never use because it kind of forces me to have to use everything Microsoft. So I'm not terribly excited about Outlook. And it has some major problems. But some people use it all over. If your office is using it at work, you're likely going to be required to use Outlook. Many people are moving to the cloud. Another new thing, remember how we can edit the same document together in the cloud? Finally, Microsoft is catching up to that and allowing you to do that as well with Microsoft Word. They haven't yet made it available for Excel. The one way, though, remember how you had to be logged into your Gmail to be able to edit it because I had shared it with specific domain, the Emmaus domain? Well, here with Microsoft, the only way you can share it with someone is to have a Microsoft.com account. So they're wanting to pull you in to their cloud because there's money to be made advertising in the cloud and getting your user in there. So they're making it available, and it is fairly convenient, but they're a little behind the times. Google Docs have been doing it for years. A little better help menu, they claim, in the online built-in help. After you use it for a while, you start using help so much. Another Outlook perk, they want you to do work groups. Again, something that's been done, well, you can share it with groups. I think you can share it with groups in the cloud. Apparently PowerPoint has some major improvements. We'll be getting to that after the words section. And some more business intelligence with Office or with Excel. So some more analytics. That's the huge thing in the world today, is analyzing data. So they're adding more powerful tools for analyzing data in Excel. And some of the menus, they feel that they've improved them a bit. Okay, so that's enough of what they're telling you about Office 2016. Let's go ahead and use it by jumping into their first project. Even though the book is Office 2013, I think we can handle it. Maybe next semester we'll be offering or requiring the 2016 book. So go ahead and start up Microsoft Word 2016, and I will fire up the book pages and walk through that first project. We're creating a fairly simple little poster type headline project. So bringing up the book. And this is the time when having your book will be helpful, because I may be only opening to a particular page and you're getting ahead, or you need to refer back to something. So bring your book. It'll be very helpful in class as we work on these projects. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck waiting for me to go to the next page, or I might be helping someone, which I'm happy to do, and you'll just have to be patient. So here's the book. And I'm going to jump to WD2 project. So Microsoft Word, Project 1. And we're going to make a document that looks like this. We're going to create this document. Now, some things that maybe you don't remember, but you're going to have to make sure you know, this is a kind of a strange way of making this font. We are, what I would be doing is actually creating a text box. They are filling a paragraph after setting its font. They're putting a border around the document, inserting an image with some image effects, and we'll also explore maybe there's some new image effects in 2016. This stuff, fairly basic, creating a paragraph with some bolding and italicizing, and then some bulleted items with a tagline at the bottom. So fairly simple document, but remember, we're not assuming when you take this class that you have lots of experience. So walking through exactly what we're going to do here. So starting with a blank document and setting up things before we continue here. So start Microsoft Word and bring up blank document. Now you're building up your experience with Office 2016. If you've done this before, pay attention to the new style with Office. Before I do anything right now, just to make sure I have the document in the right place, see how right now it's called Document 1 by default because I haven't saved it yet. I'm going to do a Control-S or a File Save. Control-S, and right away I'm going to make sure I save it to my computer. I could save it to my OneDrive. You're welcome to use a OneDrive. One thing to do, though, if you do use the OneDrive, don't forget to log out of your OneDrive, or the next person coming here could accidentally be wiping out your files on your OneDrive. So until you sign in, you won't be able to save to your OneDrive. But remember to sign out. Do the same thing on the library. You can use OneDrive, but don't forget to sign out. So I'm going to browse my PC. I'm going to go to my ATM folder with my cs101 folder down below, and Spring 2016. And I'm going to save it as Manning WD1. So save your document with your last name, WD1. It'll add the .docx suffix automatically. Now I know where it lives and I can get going on the project. checking to see that I have this basic settings up. And then we just start entering text. We'll come back later and modify the text. So the text will be the word adventure, and then we'll continue adding things. So back to Word, adventure. We're going to eventually have it all capitalized. I don't see my formatting marks. I can turn them on clicking that little backwards P right there. These are kind of look noisy up here. They're not going to be printed, but they're just helpful marks telling you where you've hit a new line or entered a page break. They're not so useful at the start, but as you start trying to figure out why do I have so much space in between, or why don't I have a new page, those will be useful. And you can always just turn them on or off. They don't get printed. Oh, and if you don't see the ribbon, or if you want to get the ribbon out of the way while you're typing, just double click on the tab and it will hide the ribbon for you. If you want them back, just double click again. If you want them only to come back temporarily, just click on it once. They'll come back temporarily, and then when you leave it, the ribbon will auto hide. For this course in the book, they're always showing the ribbon, but they can get kind of annoying, taking up a lot of space. So we've typed the word adventure, and then we've got the blank line. And see how those formatting marks help us? We know that there is a blank line, and there's only one blank line.
Is yours double spaced?
Let me check. I think I'm double spacing. I didn't change anything, so let me check our settings. Were we?
Because that's on mine too. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just on the screen. Yours looks like it's not as far as the gap as mine is.
I'm pretty sure it's double spaced. Let me go over here to Word, and one way I can check is looking at my current settings, and I guess it's not highlighting where I'm at. Line spacing options. Did it tell me? I might have skipped. There may have been a step in there that told me to double space.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else's looks really short.
And generally with MLA, we will do double space, but I may have skipped the part to see if it's telling me to turn on double spacing. Yeah, I don't see it where it's telling me to do double spacing. I think I'm in the right place, but let's go ahead and make sure I'm zoomed to page width. Down here, I can zoom manually, and to zoom to space page width, I can go to the View tab over here, and instead of print layout, I can zoom to my page width right here. See how with print layout, I have this extra margin there. But if I don't want to see the margin, well, that will show me my complete page. I can just show me all the way to the outside the margins. There, I can see my whole page. Page width is, I find, the most useful. %, page width. And if you want to zoom even more, you can grab the little slider down there and zoom manually or control and roll the mouse. Control and mouse wheel will also zoom. Remember, zooming isn't changing anything in the formatting. So we've zoomed to page width, and then we're going to go back to the home key. Okay, so we're ready now to enter text. Explore scenic trails with breathtaking views. And this is where I'm going to, in the book, since I have the text here, I can online copy my text and then paste it into my document. Oops. Didn't copy. Copy. And paste. It's not pasting. Well, I guess I'll just type it. Enter explore scenic trails with breathtaking views. And I'm going to control roll the mouse so you can read that a little better. I'm not sure why my poor computer is going so slow. Maybe it's because I'm recording as you travel through meadows, forests, and streams. Streams and mountains, forests, streams and mountains. And they remind you in the book that it's automatically word wrapping for you. So don't hit enter to start a new line. Let it do the word wrap for you. And if those formatting marks get in your way, you can always come back to the Home tab and turn them off to verify where your spaces are. See how we left that blank line there? We're going to come back and insert that image in that paragraph there. All right, so we've got the text in there. We have another blank line. And then we're going to enter some text regarding our tours, and they even have a spelling error in there after having, let's see, they have a new line. Self, and you've probably seen this already if you've got a spelling error of any sort, it automatically will correct the spelling for me there. Let's try a different spelling and see if it corrects it. There is some automatic correction and there is non-auto corrected. You see the red squigglies. When you see the red squiggly, all you need to do is right click on the word and it will give you spelling suggestions. And they demonstrate that, correcting the word. All right. Now we're putting in a bulleted list. We're gonna just enter separate paragraphs and then come back and turn them into a bulleted list. Self-guided tours available, open March through October. All vehicles and gear provided. And then the end line, to book your adventure, call that number. And I think they even put an area code. No, they don't put an area code. And of course, exclamation point to make it exciting. That's all the text so far. The rest of the project is going back then and formatting things to match the nice looking poster. And they discuss how to organize a good poster with a headline and body copy, a signature line. Let's see, do they put in the image first? They discuss then navigation, special characters to go up and down. I think there's some questions on the e-quiz about some of these special characters. I find if I'm doing something a lot, some of the characters like the arrow keys, usually it's friendly enough that just moving the mouse around and clicking where you need to be is just fine. Sometimes, especially when you're going through large documents, knowing how to go up and down a page using your page up and down keys, or getting all right to the bottom of it, Control Home, Control N takes you immediately to the beginning or end. I find these mostly useful in huge documents. Smaller documents like this, just sliding the little slider up and down. I think that's the most obvious way to navigate up and down in your document. Remember, Word is automatically saving a backup, but it doesn't hurt once you've done a lot of work to do the Control S again. Use that often. Otherwise, it's saved in what they call a recovery file that isn't guaranteed to always be there. So do a Control S, and it's made sure that your changes so far are in that document. All right, now we're getting ready then to go back and format this word adventure into this style. And it looks like before we do that, though, we're going to select our theme, because our theme will affect everything we do from now on and how it looks. So it's best to select your theme before you go back and make your changes. And let's see, do they have us pick a particular theme? Usually I've had that highlighted. I guess they haven't told us to pick a theme yet. Okay. So we'll come to the adventure word, and we're gonna center that, and then center the tagline. Or the signature line. We're going to center the signature line and the tagline. I think that last one. Okay, so clicking on this, and there is a shortcut key for that. If you hover over this, it will show the shortcut key is the Control E, and it will center that line. I'm going to keep it large and slide over. We're eventually going to make that huge. So you center the signature line as well at the bottom. So we'll go to the bottom one and also center that one. This time I'm just going to be anywhere in that line. Control E will center that line. And if I zoom out, I'll see what my pretty boring document looks like so far. Now let's see, we're going to go back to that adventure and adjust that paragraph to make it huge with a green background and white text. So first thing we do is we change its font size to 72, and then we're going to adjust what particular font we're going to change it to. We're going to change it to 72 point and Berlin Sans. Okay, so select this. Double clicking selects the whole word, or when I click out on the edge in the margin, I select that whole line. But double clicking on the word will select the whole thing. I could also click once and drag across the word. Changing the font to 72 by going to my font selection right there. I could type in the number 72, or I could find the selection 72. One thing to note here is I'm not stuck with only these choices. If 72 is a little too big and 48 is a little too small, I could type in 60 and Word will make it an estimate, will estimate the 60 size font, even though it's not in the list. I can always give it a specific font. In this case, the book wants us to do 72 point. Now I can come back here and get Berlin Sans just by starting to type B-E-R. It takes me to the B's, and uh-oh, there's multiple Berlin Sans. I think they want the FB Demi. I grab my little slider. Oh, I forgot to put in the exclamation point. Better make that. Double clicking the whole word. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, look at that. Double clicking doesn't get my exclamation point. I better select through that to get the exclamation point. And now we want to do some more adjustment to that because we want a green background and the white text. And we want it all caps. We can change it to all caps by this little guy, right? Is it this guy? Yeah, change case. I can automatically change it to all uppercase. I don't have to retype it. And now I'm going all adventure. Anything you do, I can also undo. Remember, there's the little undo button. Where's my little undo? There's the undo, way up there. Or Control Z undoes what I've just done. I'm going to apply a particular style to that, a white outline accent 1. So now I'm coming back to here, applying a style to that text I've selected. Remember, this is in the font section. This is a font style. When I'm over here, this applies to the whole paragraph style. So we want a font style right here of this one right here, the white outline accent 1. The reason we've done that is we're going to make a background of the dark color. This isn't so great until I have the nice dark background. So I've applied that font style. And now we're going to leave it and then come back and fill that paragraph. So if I click somewhere else, it removes that from being a selected text. Then they say, well, come back to here now, and for this paragraph right here, we're going to fill that paragraph. We're not going to fill the font. We're not going to do a font fill. We're going to fill the paragraph with a darker green. And they give the exact choice. I'm not going to be super fussy on the exact choice. I think that's the one. Let me see. Green accent 6, darker 25%. Remember, anytime there's a paragraph setting, I don't have to select the text. All I have to do is have the cursor somewhere in the text, and it will apply that to the whole paragraph I'm in. So now as I roll out the mouse, I see now it's getting a little more bold, a little better headering on that. So I selected it, changed the font style here, but then I changed the paragraph fill here. Now I think we're done with that part, and we can go on down to the next few lines. All of these we're going to set to a particular font size. Notice we're just selecting those content lines, and we're going to change the font to 24 point because it's a nice big poster, nice readable poster. So I select through these lines. Again, I can start selecting there and drag down, or I can select in the margin and drag down. It will automatically select the whole line. But don't select that last line. We're gonna mess with that separately. And this one we change it to 24 point font. Here's a great way to change font while you want to see the changes. Control Shift greater than takes you to the next font larger. So if you're adjusting your font rather than having to use the mouse, you can Control Shift greater than less than, bop it up to the size you want. Nice and big readable poster. You can always come over here and select it directly. So I've adjusted the font to 24-point size. And let's see here if they want us to change the font at all. So we get that. And before we italicize and make some words, selecting through these, again, I'm going to select in the margin, drag through those, changing them to a bulleted text simply by going right up to here, turns it into a bulleted set of lines. And then, as I work to the next one, they mentioned about being able to undo, redo things. Now we're italicizing the word breathtaking. The quickest way to do that, double click on breathtaking and Control I. They do want to change the color of it though, to make it even more visible by selecting that word and then choosing a greenish, oh, they make it an orangish color. Over here under the font color. Remember with font color, you have to have the word selected. And choose an orangish. It's kind of hard to read on the screen. I'm going to make it a little darker. And to emphasize a few other words, oh, they're done. It looks like they're done with that paragraph then. And then we go to that bottom line, double clicking on that line or clicking in the margin, and we're going to increase that font size to 28. So I could drag through the whole thing, Control Shift greater than, or come down here and select exactly 28. And we turn that one orange as well. Oh, they want to emphasize that phone number by underlining it, dragging through that, and underline is right there. And if you hover over any of these, you will also see the shortcut key. If you do it a lot, you remember that one. That's one I don't do a lot. And we want to make something bold just to practice. Oh, or for some reason they like to bold off-road. Select through it, Control B for bold. And you remember that by just hovering over the B. That is one that I do use a lot, so I remember the Control B. We can zoom back and forth to see how it looks so far. And then they decide to change their theme colors. I would recommend that when you're messing with posters like this, you choose your theme first. Don't wait to the end to say, okay, let's adjust our colors. That kind of is going to mess you up. Why would you have chosen orange if you were planning on making a different color? So let's just see how that works. To change our color scheme now, I have to go to Design, and we're going to come down to the green color scheme. So let's see what happens. If I go to Layout, is that where it was? Oh, sorry, Design. Where's Design? Yeah, Design. And then here's my theme, or here's my colors. I can select my entire theme here, or select just the color theme without changing the other. And there's now the green color theme. There's overall theme that applies complete set of colors and fonts. We don't want to mess with that right now. We just want to mess with our specific color scheme, and we go with green overall. And that's why it originally was orange. Now it got changed to the light green. So they were planning ahead, thinking, we know we're going to change the orange to green. In reality, if you ever do a poster like this, you're going to choose your color scheme first and not wait till you're halfway through it to change it. So I think they should have told you this at the start. And they talk about ways to select text, and I've kind of showed you some of that when I have multiple blocks of text. Multiple keys. This is a key very handy. The Control A selects everything in my document if I want to adjust something. Like the most times I would use a Control A is when I want to copy everything in my document to somewhere else. Control A and then Control C, and then I'll go to another document and paste it. Or if I want to delete everything, Control A and delete it. Now is the time we're going to bring in that picture, and we got to go find that picture of our little forest. And they have it in the data for the project. And let's see if we have that over. I think I have provided that for you over on the eLearn site. Let's see if we can find those files there on eLearn. So I'm over here. Let's go to the course. I think I gave you a folder up towards the top here. There we go. To student data files. Whenever they talk about data files, you can always go to student data files, and in there is a folder for every section. So under the Word section, I can go to Chapter 1, and here's all the resources that you'll need, and there's the mountain trail picture right there. I can right-click, save link as. We'll save that picture, and I'm going to save it to my, how about I save it to my desktop? It's the mountain trail. It's going to go right to my desktop, and I'm saving it. Now I can go back to Word, and put my cursor right here where I'm going to be inserting the image, and insert picture. Where'd my book go? And they're centering that image before they insert the picture. They decide to center that. So basically our picture will be centered. And then we do the insert picture. So here we go, insert picture. I remember I saved it to my desktop, so I look on my desktop. There it is, the mountain trail. It's not centered because I didn't center my paragraph first, but guess what? I can easily center it. Oops. I can easily center it by going to the Home tab and centering that paragraph. So I don't have to, it's not a huge deal if I don't center it before I insert the picture. And we're going to adjust the size of that picture. Either I can grab the corner sizing handle and adjust it to my taste, or if they've given me a specific size, I could go to Format and adjust my size right up there in the upper right. And let's see if they've told me the exact size of that picture. Once I've inserted it, I can see in the book what they've adjusted it to. Do they tell me specifically? Or do they just say adjust it? Here's the inserted one. I see it about 2 inches there. I'm not going to be fussy about that. The main thing I want you to do is make sure that it fits nicely. I think they're going to be increasing the space around it to make it look a little nicer. About 3 inches. It looks like they finally adjusted to about 3 inches, 3.25 inches. And watch what happens when I make that 3.25. The other dimension automatically increases as well because they are tied together. It keeps the aspect ratio together. And there's my picture. Now that we have the picture in there, we're going to apply a nice picture style, and I'm going to let you be creative. Choose whatever picture style you like. The book has specific ones they suggest, but you're welcome to choose one. Just make sure you choose one other than the default boring no picture style. Choose a style that you like. Go crazy if you like on any of those styles.
Where's this picture style button?
When you have the picture selected, the Format tab shows up, and then picture style shows up under there.
Oh, I like if I drag the picture in, I didn't
Right.
actually insert it. Should I
Right.
actually insert the picture?
All you have to do, well, you can insert as long as you just select the picture, then that style shows up. If the picture is not selected, that tab is gone. It's what they call context sensitive tabs.
No, it's because I didn't think I inserted the picture. I just dragged it from my desktop. So
Yeah, well, that should do the same thing.
it doesn't actually bring it.
Isn't it letting you select it?
Yeah, I'm able to select it. It's just selecting it differently than you guys do.
Huh.
So I'm just gonna.
I would have expected the drag and drop is the same as copying and pasting, same as insert. Now, that's a little quirk. Sometimes you'll see it doesn't behave the same as you'd expect. You'd think a drag and drop, as long as the picture's showing, you should be able to select and format it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to select one of these just because it's fun to play with all the selections. I don't notice in 2016 that they don't seem to have a lot more. I don't even know if it's different at all from what came with Office 2013. I kind of like that one. That kind of a cool effect. Well, the only thing left to do here is adjust my margins and borders, but we'll end here. I'm going to save this. And remember, if you want to make sure it's there for you, you can always submit it so it's stored up on eLearn. You can always submit it here, or you can save it to your cloud document or to your jump drive. But this is a valid place. You can upload it here and then work on it again somewhere else if you need to, or on a different computer. We'll finish it up next time, review some of those things we did, and then finish the border. And that's a quick little project, just getting you used to Microsoft Word.
Do you want us to upload it right now? Or?
No, you don't have to upload it,
Right,
but you can choose that as a storage place if you need to. But make sure you save it somewhere to your jump drive. Make sure you have a backup. Make it clearly labeled. If you're going to save it to this local machine, make sure you have a folder that's clearly labeled by your name so someone won't accidentally tromp on it. You save it to your OneDrive. Don't forget to log out of your OneDrive, or someone else may accidentally be writing stuff into your OneDrive. All right, we will stop the recording and upload it.